Have you ever felt like you're on cloud 9 in a relationship with someone showering you with affection and attention? It feels like you've found the perfect match, right? But what if I told you there might be more to it than meets the eye? Stay tuned to uncover the truth behind the love bombing phase with narcissists. Whirlwind romance might actually be the first phase of a toxic cycle known as love bombing. Duration of the love bombing phase. All right, let's talk about how long this intense phase of love bombing actually lasts. It can vary, but one thing's for sure, it's not forever. At the start, it feels like you're swept off your feet, but as time goes on, the intensity tends to fade away. The love bombing phase isn't set in stone. It can differ from one relationship to another. Some may experience it for a short while others might endure it for longer periods. It all depends on the dynamics between the narcissist and their target, like a firework that bursts into dazzling colors but quickly fades away. While it starts off strong and overwhelming, the intensity tends to fizzle out sooner rather than later. Don't be surprised if what once felt like an explosion of affection suddenly simmers down. During the love bombing phase, a covert narcissist doesn't necessarily think about eventually ditching their partner. They're more like a kid getting a new favorite jacket. They're just excited about something new and shiny. When you come into their life, bringing excitement and making them feel good about themselves, it's not a calculated move. It's just something that happens naturally. Do older narcissists struggle to keep up the love bombing phase for long? Narcissists, regardless of age, find it tough to maintain the love bombing phase for an extended period. Initially, they're drawn to what you offer, seeing you as someone who boosts their ego. During this phase, they see you as perfect. But if you don't constantly validate them, you become worthless in their eyes. They'll still take what you offer, be it sex or money, as long as you provide it. However, they've already set their sights on the next perfect person. They might throw you occasional attention to keep you around as a backup. If you wait around for them, they'll likely mistreat you because they view you as worthless. They justify using you with the mindset of if they're dumb enough to give it. Love bombing isn't about love. It's just manipulation to fulfill their desires. Pretty twisted, isn't it? How does the narcissist train you to be puppeted? A narcissist doesn't intentionally train you to be manipulated. That's not their goal. Here's what typically happens. First, they idealize you or become obsessed with you because they see something in you that reflects well on them. But it's not genuine love. It's more about how you make them look good. However, as time passes, they may lose interest because their emotional depth is shallow. Eventually, they discard you like an old jacket in search of someone new to boost their ego. Here's what typically happens. When you stroke a narcissist's ego, they start to idealize you. They thrive on what's called fuel, which means your positivity helps boost their fragile self-esteem temporarily. Essentially, you make them feel important, providing something they may have never received from their parents or others before. They will simply mirror everything back to you, much like a young child does. As an empathetic person, you'll find yourself drawn to their attention and the conversations, responding with empathy, and they'll reciprocate with similar sentiments. However, it's crucial to recognize that their affection isn't directed towards you, but rather towards how you make them feel about themselves. Essentially, you're providing them with a sense of euphoria. You're their drug while they're the abuser. The abuser idolizes their drug from the outset. They will continue to provide you with what you desire and say the things you need to hear, albeit unconsciously, because you're new, exciting, and elevate their mood. They'll become fixated on you, developing tunnel vision. Over time, as a regular individual, you'll begin to develop feelings for them. You'll find commonalities and appreciate the words they speak, only to realize later that they were merely echoing your desires to maintain their high. After a while, the narcissist's inner insecurities resurface, and they grow bored because you're no longer new. They were never truly connected to you through empathy, because they lack understanding of what empathy or love entails. They're incapable of loving anyone, including themselves. Genuine love requires empathy, and that's the distinction between love and idealization. When their focus shifts entirely, you begin to react by questioning what's happening, what you might have done to deserve this treatment. why they're being distant, and so forth. This reaction, characterized by begging, pleading, and clinging, further bores them. They start to recognize your attempts to see beyond their mask or facade, triggering their unconscious defensive mechanisms to protect their identity. This occurs because, over time, you've fallen deeply in love with them and become addicted to their presence. You continuously pressure or compel them to provide closure or answers. Yet, they're unable to do so because they themselves are unsure of what happened. They were merely idealizing you, indicating that they never truly loved you. Despite professing love when they were fueled by your attention, you left shattered, in pain, and agonizing over what happened, how quickly it transpired, and what's going on. Even the narcissist has no clear understanding of what occurred. All they know is they're simply bored. No matter how hard they try, they inevitably grow bored because they idealize everything new, following this pattern throughout their life. They move forward as if nothing happened, having no trouble doing so because they never truly loved you. Meanwhile, you become fully addicted to them, tormented daily by questions like, how could they move on so easily? Did I ever matter to them? Did they ever love me? The answer is simple: no. They never loved you. They idealized you. Love is enduring. It grows slowly over time, and it requires empathy, value, respect, care, and appreciation. Idealization, on the other hand, is a fleeting infatuation that starts intensely, but diminishes entirely after a while. It lacks the essential elements of empathy, value, care, appreciation, and respect. The narcissist never foresaw devaluing their most cherished possession, be it a toy, an object, or anything else. It simply occurred because that's their pattern. They follow it throughout their life. They'll always blame the object for being needy or clingy, manipulating it when they start to devalue it to protect their identity. Here's a short, illustrative story to help clarify your thoughts. Imagine a child who desperately wants a pet. After much anticipation, his mom finally buys him his favorite German Shepherd. The child is ecstatic, promising his mom that he'll take care of the dog and love it forever. For a few weeks or months, he fulfills his promise, playing with the dog and caring for it diligently. After a period of time, he starts to get bored and leaves the dog to starve to death. When the mom notices, she steps in to feed and care for the neglected pet, saving its life. Would the mom blame the child? Absolutely not. When she bought the dog, she understood that children can be immature and easily bored. Their excitement and commitments often wane quickly. The child's emotions and words can change rapidly, reflecting his underdeveloped empathy and limited understanding of life and responsibility. This child represents your narcissist, immature despite their age, lacking emotional depth. If you were to ask the child if he ever expected to grow bored of the dog, his answer would likely be a straightforward no. Wouldn't understand why he stopped caring for the dog. It just happened, beyond his conscious control. I hope this analogy helps clarify things. It took some time to find the right words and examples, so if you found it helpful, feel free to give and like.